Welcome to Munger Vision. We're at Otter Union High School with a nice matchup for you today. Watch Kaylee Pinson take her final warm-ups. Amanda Sanderson will be your catcher, and you're watching varsity softball action on Munger Vision as Rutland High School. Yes, Rutland High School back on Munger Vision. Going to be a team that I covered for many years. Know their head coach very well. Dick Wright, Patty Cannon, head coach for Otter Valley. Should be a great matchup. Even though it's a non-division game, it's turned into a nice rivalry. Jessie Samersky up in her first look of the morning. It's a 10 o'clock morning game. I know we're tape delayed, but it's a nice morning. It's a little bit cloudy, breezy, but very pleasant out. Good day for softball. And that's going to be a little number back to Pinson. She'll pick it up and throw it to first. Michelle Lefebvre will make the grab, and there's a 1-3 ground out as we are underway, scheduled for 7. These two teams over the last several years have played some very memorable ball games. And for several years, actually the year that after Danielle Hendy, the great pitcher for Rutland, graduated, Otter Valley went on quite a winning streak of several, I want to say years, but I know many games. And today's pitching matchup between Kaylee Pinson of Otter Valley and Taylor Koskonko of Rutland. Again, this should be a very spirited game. The bunt attempt, and it'll be a strike. Yeah, you'll see a lot of small ball today between these two coaches. And these two coaches, between them, multiple state championships, long tenure at their schools. Just really good softball coaches. And that will be strike 3, as that was Margaret Markowski. I forgot even to say that. I got into talking and listening to myself. Emily Loris up now with 2 down, nobody on base. Loris will be the catcher for Rutland High School when they get out in the field defensively. You can see the sun every now and then coming out today. There's cloud cover, but like I said, every day is a good day for softball. Love the sport. And Pinson, boy, that one's going to be pulled, but that's going to be pulled foul a mile. You can see where that one landed. A beautiful facility here at Otter Valley to come watch a softball game. And I'll better real quickly here get the defense set, as this could be a 1-2-3 inning. Michelle Lefebvre's at first base. Ashley Delphi is at second. Erin Trombley, of course, is your shortstop. And Christy Pinkham down at third. And, boy, big swing and a miss on a rise ball that cut up and inside. The outfield has Miranda Bassett in left field. Michaela Harrington is in center field. And Kelsey Poljasic in right field. Now, I mentioned Sanderson's the catcher, Pinson the pitcher, Patty Cannon the coach. And that's going to be strike 3, and it's going to be a wild pitch, and I think she's going to beat it out. She will. So a good break there for Rutland on a strikeout that handcuffed the catcher. Actually, the catcher might have been screened a little bit by the swing attempt. So I'll put a runner at first base with 2 down for the pitcher today, Taylor Koskonko, coming up for Rutland. Now, they'll have a meeting in the circle. A lot of strategy going to go on today. As like I said, these are actually real softball coaches, not coaches who they understand the game of softball, and I've learned a lot from both of them, as so many players over the years played for them. But small ball will be huge, and there's a courtesy runner that came out, and I got yakking again and missed who it was, but I'll try to catch the jersey number off the back. But you'll see steals and slaps and small ball, and it'll be a blast today. This will be good softball today. That's Harrington, number 10, in the foreground, and again, I'll just try to get on the substitution for the courtesy runner, and I'll watch the pitch slide in, and that is number 1 out there. Oh, it's Kristen Massey, who's got a sprained wrist, unable to play today. Okay, now what I did there, I just had to move the camera a little bit, so I can't ask the center fielder to move. They'd think of that as pretty uncool. There's the throw down. Trombley got her. They'll get her on the throw. No, it squirted away. She will be safe. So Massey, I hope the wrist is wrapped. Hope she's okay. She will get there on the stolen base. It looked like with the collision, that ball popped free, but it was the throw right there on the mark by Sanderson. So there's Dick Wright ball right there on the stolen base, and that will put a runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Koskonko. So Pinson, number 9, looking to get out of this inning without any more damage being done, and we'll watch the pitch come in just a second. Okay, now bear with me. I'll do this the whole ball game, and that is just keep moving out of the center fielder's way. There we go. Usually I shut the camera off and do that, but I know I'm getting lazy in my old age. Oh, great pitch. Strike right there. So Koskonko He's batting in the cleanup spot, and then Sam Tipker on deck in case Rutland can get it to that number 5 spot. Now, see, Pinson likes that target down low inside. That's where it went to, and that'll be nubbed down the first baseline. And they'll get the out. They'll strand the runner. Lefebvre will make the grab. The throw came over from her teammate, of course, Ashley Delphi, and Rutland will strand one, and we'll go to the bottom half of the first scoreless on Munger Vision. And for Rutland, we'll watch Taylor Kriskako take her last warm-up pitch. And I'll again mention the battery is going to be Emily Loris behind the home plate. And Kriskako in the circle. Sam Tipker will be at first base. Emily Kulig is the second baseman. This is the defense for Rutland. Jesse Samersky is the shortstop, and Teresa Goodwin plays third base. In the outfield, they have Sarah Grabowski. In left field, Margaret Markowski's in center field, and Sam Snitker is the right fielder. And for Otter Valley, they'll have Christy Pinkham up, and she is a good leadoff batter here. And again, she can bunt, she can slap, she can swing away. She's got good speed, and she has good judgment of the strike zone. Kriskako's first pitch will be a little bit out of the strike zone, and we'll skip back to the backstop, and we'll have ball one. I said Patty Candon, Otter Valley squad, winning the state championship last year. And Dick Wright's squad went to the championship game in Division I last year. And like I said, both these coaches very well established, excellent coaches. And I think this is true. They're good friends. I used to see them a lot during the when I was covering Rutland High School softball. But like I said, this has turned into a decent rivalry. And that's a little flare. A tough catch. Almost able to come up with it was Tipker. She gave it a great effort, but it will be a foul ball strike. And Pinkham will be handed the bat, get back into the batter's box on that right side. It's Pinkham and then Michaela Harrington and then Miranda Bassett due up here for Otter Valley on their home turf. A little bit of a breeze today. Shows small ball, pushes it up the first baseline, and that will roll foul. And you can see Pinkham retired on trying to bunt on a third strike. That's why nowadays, that used to be taboo nowadays, but that's okay. You see a lot of that unpredictability with the 2 strikes, still put the bunt on. I like it personally. I don't think you should be predictable. Now Harrington, who has just been swinging a bat red hot this season for the Otters, went up after that rise ball and fouled it off. Yeah, I've seen the Otter Valley squad play at Mill River, and then I did the Springfield game here, Rutland game here today. Obviously, I know the 22nd I have open. I'm going back here to Otter Valley, and there's one more Thursday afternoon game, not the most recent Thursday coming up, but after that. So some more Otter Valley softball coming up for you. And of course, we'll see where they land in the playoffs if they get any home games. It's a cool spot coming videotape. Good softball action too. Been searching for good softball, and I found it here at Otter Valley. And the best part is they welcome me here. And that's going to be down and caught over there by the first baseman. Tipker will make the grab, and that'll be 2 down now. Again, ball well hit. A little late on the swing. There's some heat on the pitch. And Miranda Bassett up now. She is the left fielder for the Otters. Again, PEGTV. You can view local sports the old-fashioned way, right on the television. A little bit too far outside for a ball. Or you can go to the website at www.pegtv.com, click video on demand, and you'll see a ton of games come up that you can select absolutely free and watch on the internet. Oh, great pitch. I mean, that ball's getting there probably in 4/10 of a second. And Kriskako putting a little rise on it and looking pretty sharp here in this first inning. So both pitchers so far today looking good. Oh, Kriskako dancing around in the circle, thought she had the strikeout, and I got to tell you, I thought they were going to ring her up too. Pitch at the knee, split the plate, called a ball, and Bassett, I'm not sure how you take that one with 2 strikes, but she'll live to swing again here. Oh, another close pitch. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll try to figure out the strike zone here for a second. So Bassett living right on the edge of a strikeout. Fouls it off. That's a good swing right there. If Bassett can get on base, that'll bring up the cleanup batter, Michelle Lefebvre. The Otters in the blue, in case you haven't figured that out yet. And Rutland High in the red with the black bottoms. From Otter Valley on Munger Vision. The unrecognized unofficial leader in your local sports coverage. Chris Conco wants that outside corner. That's the target, and got her, handcuffed her, and she'll get the strikeout. We'll go to the second, scoreless. Pinson with a couple strikeouts in that first inning. He's going to be looking at Sam Tipker leading things off here in the second inning for Rutland. Rutland did have a base runner in that first inning. That was Loris, got on because of a drop third strike. She was able to get down to first base. And Pinson will be a tad bit high. Yeah, it's looking like this. It's looking like Tipker, Kulik, and Grabowski due up for Rutland. And I'll move over to the right in just a second. That's Harrington, the center fielder, in the shot, and that will be a ball. No strikes to the leadoff batter. And believe me, you don't want walks to get become an issue here today. Rutland gets their running game in gear. Obviously, to do that, they need base runners. But they do an awful lot of creating havoc on the bases when they do get runners. Pitch coming in, and it'll be a walk, and the leadoff batter on here in the second for Rutland. So Tipker, with the good eye, will draw the walk, and now Kulig, the second baseman, up for Rutland. This is where Pinkham, down at third base, going to see a lot of action today, and she's in tight at the corner, expecting the bunt. Like I said, these two coaches, Patty Candon, Dick Wright, and I see a lot of good coaches in softball, but these people I'm talking about today are pure softball coaches. That's going to be a foul down the first baseline out of play for a strike. I got the Crawley Road Race coming up on June 13th, the actual race. That's also the Kids Downtown Mile plus the big 10K road race. But that whole week, that's going to be down to third. Pinkham will charge, go to second, and they'll throw it away, and that's going to go all the way to the outfield, and this could be the game's first run, and they're going to send her around third base, and she should be safe. They won't draw the throw, so an error will lead to the game's first run. It was a good decision by Pinkham. Yeah, I mean, it was a good decision. A good throw, and she would have had her out at first. Or second, I'm sorry, trying to get the force out. And now Grabowski up, and I'll move again. Just give me a sec. Bunt up in the air, and caught by the catcher. So they'll try to move the runner up on the bunt. They'll pop it out, and that'll be the inning's first out. And Goodwin up now. All right, you bear with me. I'm going to move to the left. A little elevation, I would be able to shoot over the top of this, but I get a workout dancing with the center fielders. So Goodwin with a runner at second and one down, one run in. We're in the second, and now I don't think that was a foul ball. No, and they'll throw down to third, and no indication at all, and so the runner able to move up on that high inside pitch. That was a swing and a miss, and down to second base. Well, isn't that something? I'm looking. Went Kulig, okay. But I'll say I don't have my glasses on because I can't run the camera with my reading glasses on, so I can't see what I wrote. But that's Kulig down at second. That is a foul ball. So Pinson, who cruised through that first inning, working a little bit harder here. On deck is Snitker. And that's going to be out of play. Now I got her out the end of the bat and foul, so Kaylee Pinson had that leadoff walk and then the error on the next play, and that's how Rutland got their run. Again, it's a game, and it's a game this is true for every game anybody ever plays. Team makes the least mistakes, usually gets the win. That pitch was a tad bit high for a ball. So 2 strikeouts in the ballgame so far for Kaylee Pinson. And like I said, a lot more softball action coming up to you from Otter Valley. Oh, Pinson will knock it down and scramble around, and everybody's going to be safe as nobody picked up the ball. And right there, that could just be because Pinson was so shocked. That was just pure reflex that saved her from what could have been a drastically bad play. As Carlton Laird checking with her, and I think that's a cool thing to come out and check with Pinson, as she appeared to have knocked the ball down cleanly. I tell you what, that ball could not have been hit any harder than what it was. And it was, again, you're so close to home base being in that circle. It's a position that requires a lot of guts, being a softball pitcher and fast pitch. So over at first base is Goodwin. Now Snitker up. That's also the number 9 batter, which means top of the order on deck, which would be Samirsky. So Rutland able to get a couple runs, and they'll let Pinson throw. I believe she got the glove on it, not the bare hand, but she'll throw more than anything and probably scared the bejesus out of her. See something coming at you that fat, like a musket coming at you, or a musket ball. In the event, she looks like she's throwing all right. And Sam Snitker will step in there. I lost track of the runner. She's at first base. Goodwin is. And Otter Valley would. That's going to be past the third baseman to Trombley, and she'll make the throw, get the out. That's just a good, smart play by Trombley at shortstop of just sticking with it. She was in the hole, backing up, and they'll get the out. So that went 5-6-2 on the ground out. Goodwin, yeah, she is at second, and now Samirsky up. She grounded out to the pitcher, Pinson, her only time up. This is her second look now at Pinson. As Rutland with 2 runs. Like I said, a leadoff walk, and then the ball hit the third, the errant throw to second. That allowed the run to score. And then that sharp, well, I gave her an infield single, the one that Pinson knocked down. Now, whether or not that's official, I'm always unofficial. I need like a long pole so I can tap Harrington left to right and make her move left to right. All I need her to do is like move just a step or two, but I'm sure the coach would shoot me if I asked her to move. Big pitch there was a strike. Low and outside, and that will be a ball. So that's Goodwin at second, and at the plate is Samirsky. On deck is Markowski. Couple breakdowns, couple of mistakes here by Otter Valley have allowed Rutland to get 2 runs. That's going to be played by Trombley. That's the inning, but Rutland will be up by 2 as we go to the bottom of the second on Munger Vision. See Rutland High School gathering around Taylor Crisconco in the circle before they'll take to the field defensively, and Crisconco with 2 strikeouts in that first inning will be facing Michelle Lefebvre, Aaron Trombley, and Amanda Sanderson here in the bottom of the second. One of those strikeouts came on a bunt attempt with 2 strikes that was fouled off. And like I said, Crisconco can get the ball to home base, and a whole lot of hurry here. It'll be high. I first saw Crisconco pitch. Oh, I think she was 7th grade. Isn't that summer rec department type league stuff? They were playing North Clarendon. And I watched that. I was like, oh boy. That's going to be a very good, very tough high school pitcher, and she has been. And you can see the wind right there kicking up a little bit. Crisconco doing a lot of landscaping around that rubber in the circle there as I can't tell. I don't think she's filling in a hole. I think she's digging a little hole to get the push off on that snap through. Foul ball. Lefebvre, a very, very good hitter at the plate. Senior, one of the captains out there. Very solid defensively. Saw her through the basketball season. Very good athlete. Smart young lady. Most softball players are very, very smart. And that's got a chance to drop in, and it will be a base hit. So a good job of going a little bit opposite field there by Lefebvre, and she will be the first base runner for Otter Valley. Trombley up, and again, can handle the bat. See what they want to do, some small ball, or if they're going to have her swinging away. Lefebvre with good speed down at second base, or down at first base, and beautiful pitch. Just tickled that outside corner. Great placement too. That's pitcher's pitch. If she can throw that all day, she will be in good shape. Crisconco, and there's strike 2. So down in the count, 0-2 is Trombley. As we've already seen, though, that doesn't limit the options strategically. Doesn't mean like the bunt's not a possibility here. I like the fact in the last several years, coaches let them lay down bunt attempts. Oh, just 1-2-3 nothing but heat from Crisconco, and that rise ball will become the 3rd strikeout. Trombley will go down. Now Sanderson up. Now Sanderson, the catcher, is a lefty. And she's packs a lot of power. And she's got a very compact swing. She's choked up on the bat and just can't catch up to that. And they'll throw down, and they got her in a pickle. Whether it's by design or not, Lefebvre will be safe, and the ball will go out of play. Yeah, and they're going to award Lefebvre second base. Now, just that alone, now if that's a design play, they're going to give her third base, so she will go down to third. She'll be down to third with less than 2 outs. Now, if that was a design pickle, again, that's the same part of that base running strategically. It's your strategy. I can't even say the word. I'll move in a second. Yeah. The center fielder you're looking at the back of is Markowski. That pitch will be a tad bit outside. So the Otters got something going here in the bottom of the second, trying to respond to Rutland's 2 runs that took place on top of the second. And they're going to allow the, there was a piece of debris on the field, and it'll be picked up by Snitker, and she'll just wad up the, it looked like a plastic bag, but she wadded it up and tossed it off the field, and we're good to go here. There's the bunt. Yeah, and they're trying to get her in a pickle, and they'll throw the ball away. There's a run for Otter Valley. Coming to second base will be Sanders, and it was a beautiful bunt, but it's the mental part of the game that makes the other team, you've got to make a great, quick decision. You got to make a good play. I thought it was a good play by Goodwin. She picked the ball up on the bunt, faked the throw to first. You can see I went for it. I got faked out. As Bruce up, Chelsea Bruce is the DP, batting for Pinson. They have 1 sub on the bench, Jenna Munger, for Otter Valley. There's Chris Conco. Great pitch right there, down and inside. Big swing by Bruce over the top of the pitch for a strike. But on that play, I mean, that was the right decision. The third baseman fielded the ball, faked the throw to first, turned around. The runner had, either by design or not, had gotten away from third base. They had her in a rundown, and the run will score. So the tying run out second base now, and Sanderson for Otter Valley. Bruce at the plate and Delphia on deck. I expect this to be a wild, entertaining ball game today. That's why I got in that vehicle and came the 19-minute ride through all the road construction to get up here. Oh, great pitch. Rise ball exploded up out of the play. Wasn't in the strike zone at all. I mean, it looks like at the first 2/10 of a second. And that's 4 strikeouts for Chris Conco, and Delphia up now with 2 down, 1 run in, and a runner at second. Let's see what they want to do as far as small balling right here with Delphia. And again, pitch at the knee, called a strike. Chris Conco's been sharp out there. But just like Otter Valley did in the top half of the second, Rutland here in the bottom half of the second, making some mistakes in the field that are costing them runs. Foul ball, strike 2. So an 0-2 count to Chris Conco, looking for her 5th strikeout of the ball game. And also that would close out the second inning. Poljasic on deck for Otter Valley in case they can push it to that next at bat here. You can look right in and see the catcher. The sign now, the target. Little pop up, and it will be, I lost the ball. It will be, the runner will be out. She left the bag early and clipped the shortstop, and she's getting up with a slight limp. That was Samirsky, but it looks like she's going to be all right. But that'll end the inning, and we'll have a 2-1 score. Rutland with the lead over Otter Valley going into the 3rd inning. Margaret Markowski to Lefebvre, will turn fire, and safe. And again, you can see just the beauty of small ball in softball. So Markowski from the left side. It's going to be a close play as far as being out anyways, but the ball got there and dropped. And Loris up now. She reached base on a drop 3rd strike back in the 1st. Now I'm going to dance over a little bit to my right. I wait till this next pitch by Pinson. And that's going to be foul. And that's going to be pulled foul again. Boy, I tell you what, she's timing those pitches very well, getting around on the ball, but just pulling it foul. And I got to tell you, I've covered literally probably thousands of softball games through the years. Harrington is the most active center fielder that I've had to move left or right with of anybody. And I'm not saying that's not a negative thing. I'm just laughing at it. She keeps me busy out here moving around in center field. So Emily Loris and then Taylor Kriskonko do up 2-1 to score in the third, scheduled for 7. And it could be one of those games where we could go extra innings. And that'll be foul again. You can see the ball being shagged down by a former Rutland High School star athlete, Darlene Janoski. You get to see her a lot on. Well, she referees basketball. Oh, Harrington slid when I slid that time. That's not fair. That'll be a foul ball. In the action, because they asked for that foul ball that Darlene Janoski retrieved, and she threw it in, and the throw was up the line and off the mark, and they had to chase it down. Boy, I tell you, 15, 20 years ago, that would have been right there on the right on the glove. That'll be down third base, picked up, Pinkham, foul. So everybody will go back into position now and on that foul ball. And like I said, we're only in the third, but this has already been a good ball game. A lot happening, a lot of good execution, a lot of mistakes, but that's because of the pressure being put on. And that'll be, this time it'll be Steve Davin, another former Rutland star athlete, not making the play on the drop foul ball. Yeah, Stevie played on Jim Leamy's 77-78 varsity basketball teams. I know, I mean, plus the other sports, but very good guard. G.J. Garrow in the backcourt, he went around, she could not hold up on that. And that was a rise ball that had some rise on it, and that'll be the first out, the third strikeout of the ball game for Pinson. And now Kriskonko up. She grounded out to Delphia at second base. Her only time up. And I'll be surprised if we don't see some runs put into motion here. Big swing and just a little dinker of a foul ball. Rutland picking up their 2 runs last inning. That was the second. Pinson, a senior out there. Kaylee Pinson, number 9, with her back to you. And they're going to go down and be safe at second base. So just as simple a drop ball like that didn't really get away from the catcher. And it shows you how quick these runners are. That is going to be through the hole, and Harrington with a good arm, and she's going to run the ball back into the infield. That will freeze the runners at first and third. Yeah, now they're going to get preoccupied, and the run will score. Yep. See what the running game does? The run scored, and the runner will be safe at first. That is vintage Dick Wright softball. That is a run that should never, ever have scored. Yet he got it home. Now Tipker up as Kriskonko will have a courtesy runner coming in. And I will look for the jersey number. Looks like Molly O'Hara, number 2, with 1 out, 1 run in and 1 on. And yeah, what this means is going to be about, I'm just conjecturing. I don't absolutely know. I'm not standing out there with them. It could be just talking about, okay, now if they bunt, this is where we're going. If they steal, this is where we're going. If they slap, if the ball's hit here, you got to know ahead of time 2 plays because of the running game that Rutland employs. Yeah, I mean, when Harrington ran the ball in, that was very good. That was correct. But then she gave up on the runner at third and got preoccupied. Nobody really, I don't know if they were communicating to her or not, but the runner then went back from third to home, and again, that's pure softball right there. So Tipker walked and scored back in the second, back up here in the third. And a 3-1 score now, Rutland, with that last manufactured run. They do have a runner in O'Hara at first base. Well, softball played to its fullest capability is a beautiful, fun sport to watch. And that might have gone off Mr. Bedard's face mask, and I think it did. The foul ball caught the umpire there, and he seems to be all right. He's a tough guy back there. The windup and the strike and the throw coming down, and yeah, they're all trying to knock the ball down, and yeah, they're telling her to stay there. So she will have the steal. On a good piece of base running. Tipker now with 1 down and a runner in scoring position. And you know what I said over the years? I always, if you're on base, you're always in scoring position to me. But the norm is by the professional broadcasters, when runners get at second and third, they say in scoring position. But I've seen a lot of runners score from first. I mean, as long as you're on base, I think you can score anywhere. But and so Rutland cranking up the pressure here with the running game. This is, yeah, I still have Tipker up there. Like I said, I have a problem without wearing my reading glasses, reading my book. And again, a good job by Sanderson, not letting that ball get past her, and then making sure that O'Hara went back to second base. A lot of it, you know, you think of softball, you think it's a physical activity. But when you watch like Coach Candon and Coach Wright, it's more like a chess match, a mind game. With all these illusions and distractions and the way they create a tense situation. And that is going to be up, and Pinkham will let it go out of play. Yeah. Very good play by Pinkham. She was instructed that it was out of play, and they don't want to risk an base advancement catching the ball out of play. And so Pinson, like I said, with 3 strikeouts already in the ball game, would love one right here. She got it, yeah. I was looking for that arm to go up, and that'll be 2 strikeouts this inning, 4 for the ball game. 2 down now in the third. That has seen Rutland score their 3rd run. Kulig at the plate. She scored a run in the last inning, so Emily Kulig. As she gets set to dig herself in. And I'll slide over to the right in a sec. Every pitch, you can see that the base runner very active out there for Rutland. That'll be a ball, and they'll throw down to third, and she's gone. They'll ring her up, and that time, the throw right on the money, the tag applied by Pinkham, and that'll be the inning, but Rutland will pick up one more run. They'll have a 3-1 lead going into the bottom of third over Otter Valley on Munger Vision. So Chris Conko, with 4 strikeouts in the ball game, will be facing Kelsey Poljasic for the first time today, as she is the number 9 batter in the order and getting her first chance to swing the bat. That means Pinkham, the top of the order, is on deck, then Harrington. Chris Conko has looked dominant at times out there. That rise ball too far out of the strike zone, and Poljasic not going after it. Otter Valley with their lone run scored back in the second. Oh, just a great pitch. Tell you, I love that rise ball. Like I said, I used to watch, for Rutland, I used to watch Danielle Hendy fire it in there. And Fairhaven, McGaw. You start going through some of the last decade, some of the great pitchers around the state of Vermont we've watched. That one just a tad bit high and outside. Defensively, it looks like it's the same out there. Tipker at first, Kulik at second, Samirsky at short, Goodwin at third. Loris is the catcher, Chris Conko is the pitcher, and that will be a leadoff walk. Chris Conko just teasing that outside corner. And so Otter Valley now, see if they take advantage of that base runner. Pinkham up, she tried to bunt with 2 strikes on her, fouled it off, and was retired. She handles the bat very well. Let's see what they want to do with her early in the count, though. She'll square, she'll lay it down, and it will be foul ball. Now, since she was carrying the bat with her, I believe that she thought it was going to be a foul ball all the way, and it will be a foul ball, just a strike. But I like the call. I like the fact you're trying to small ball this offense going here. In the outfield, you have Snitker, Markowski, and Grabowski. And that time, I thought call that a slap. She showed a little bit of a bunt, then pulled the bat back and fouled the ball off, and that'll be strike 2. So, again, you ask a lot from your leadoff batters, like a Pinkham here, you know, tried to bunt, tried to slap. Now they're at a huge disadvantage with 2 strikes. Chris Conko agreeing on a sign, will fire it in there, and that's going to be nubbed down the first baseline and foul. And again, that's just great with 2 strikes, just to get a piece of the ball and defensively swing and stay alive now. So Pinkham, as that's Markowski, the center fielder, has slid over in front of the camera. Yeah, and the same deal. She tried to bunt with 2 strikes, fouled the ball off, and that'll be the 5th strikeout of the ball game. Now Harrington up. She lined out to the first baseman, Sam Tipker. And I'll move just a sec. Yeah. Harrington, like I said, good line drive hitter, good gap hitter, and that's just too far outside and swing and a miss on a strike. And that ball that time low. Yeah, if I had a budget, because I do this out of my pocket. People don't realize I don't work for PEGTV, and I've never claimed to. And I would carry a piece. I'd buy a piece of staging of some nature and have it with me so I can have a little height. Then the fielders wouldn't be in the line of vision. That's going to get the runner over to second. Chris Conk will make the smart play, get the shore out at first, and Otter Valley with 2 down now, and Poljasic at second base. So that's a 1-3 ground out. That's the right choice. Now Miranda Bassett up. She struck out. She was one of 5 strikeouts for Chris Conko so far in the game. This is obviously Bassett's second look through the lineup now at Chris Conko. That's going to be off from the glove. It'll slow the ball down, and they're going to make the throw, and they'll call her out on a bang-bang play. Carlton Laird will ring her up. That'll end the threat. They'll strand a runner. Will it be 3-1? Not Mill River. Rutland with the lead over Otter Valley going into the 4th. I'm Munger Vision. We're looking at Kula, Grabowski, and Goodwin due up for Rutland here in the 4th. And a nice drop pitch, drop ball right there for a strike. And that Otter Valley defense still with Lefebvre at first, Duffy at second. Trombley, of course, is at short, and Pinkham is over at third. Sanderson behind the dish, and that'll be a foul ball. The outfield, well, right in front of me, I got Michaela Harrington, and in right field, Kelsey Poljasic, and Miranda Bassett is the left fielder. And, of course, Kaylee Pinson is in the circle. Her team defensively has made a couple mistakes behind her, and that's helped Rutland get some of those 3 runs. But it's a tight game, 3-1. Long way to go in the 4th, scheduled for 7, and that one inside. A little bit too far, as you can see. Kula jumping back out of the way. Like I mentioned to you earlier in the broadcast, the Crowley Road Race coming up on June 13th, but June 12th is the 4th annual Sport and Fitness Expo that is part of the Crowley weekend. And that's going to be caught by Delphia at second base. Had to move just 1 step back, and now retired leadoff batter. Now Sarah Grabowski up. She popped up to the catcher, Sanderson, who made the grab. And again, over the years, these 2 teams have played some entertaining ball games, to say the least. One game I remember, I mean, it was entertaining, but it was more the atmosphere. It was up at the Northeast Field on a very cold opening day, actually. And Ashley Porter was the pitcher for Rutland that day, the lefty, part of that Rutland championship team. Ended up being a 7-4, I believe, Rutland win, but it snowed in the middle innings of that game, and it was so cool. I mean, literally so cool. And figuratively, I mean it. Doing the ball game, and there they are out there, and snow coming down. It was good footage. That's going to be beat foul down the first baseline. Lefebvre will pick up the ball, bring it back into play to Pinson, and that'll just be a strike on that foul ball. Here's Grabowski now, digging in from the right side. And Pinson got a nice compact motion. Pinson doesn't waste a lot of energy. She got a little help right there. That ball was out of the strike zone. That'll be her 5th strikeout. And now Teresa Goodwin up. I gave her an infield base hit her last time up. And again, I'm unofficial. I know that. I know the pop fly. Harrington will be called off, and it'll be Poljasic coming up. So a good inning for Otter Valley. Nice communications there on that fly ball. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 3-1 Rutland over Otter Valley on Munger Vision. So Michelle Lefebvre, Aaron Trombley, and Amanda Sanderson, the 3 due up for Otter Valley. And Chris Conko with 5 strikeouts so far in this contest. And I'll go around the horn defensively in just 1 second and let you know who's out there defensively for Rutland High School. And Lefebvre had a base hit her first time up. She's 1 for 1 in the ball game. She's also scored the only Otter Valley run. But I can tell you right now, Loris is behind the dish doing the catching. Chris Conco's in the circle. She is the pitcher for Rutland. And that's going to be down to short. Little bobble and the throw gets her. So that'll be a 6-3 ground out to get that leadoff batter out. That was, of course, from Samirsky to Tipker. And Trombley up. She struck out her first time up. So Tipker's at first, Kulik at second, Samirsky at short. Goodwin at third. I'd already mentioned the battery out there. Grabowski, Markowski, and Snitker in the outfield. And that ball is going to be just by the porta potty out of play. That's another great feature. They have multiple porta potties, which is very important for an old guy like me. Oh, there's fields I go to, they don't have any porta potty facilities, and you're hundreds and hundreds of yards away from the school. Sometimes, you know, that's where they let you use. That's going to be down to second base, and they'll get the out. They'll make the little flip, and you can see right there, that was Kulig with the flip over to Tipker, and that'll be 2 down now as Chris Conco looking for a 1-2-3 inning. She's induced a couple ground ball outs here. Now Sanderson up. One I'll have to shift here. She's a lefty, and Markowski, the center fielder, shaded over. As Loris getting tangled up behind the plate with the umpire. I'm not really sure about that, but everybody seems to be all set now. A little high and tight, and that'll be a ball. Again, it is a little gusty today, a little windy. Not terrible. I've been in a lot worse wind tunnels before. Pitch right there, outside corner. 1-1 to count with 2 down and nobody on in the bottom of the 4th. Rutland with a 3-1 lead over the Otters. You're watching PEGTV. More importantly, you're specifically watching Munger Vision. You can see right now choking up on the bat, and great location. Just great location. So looking for her 6th strikeout, and also the final out here in the 4th is Taylor Crisconco, as the batter Sanderson will step back and ask for time and receive it. And she'll get into the box now. And that's going to be over at third and grabbed. Goodwin will make the grab, and that's the inning. We'll go to the 5th with Rutland up 3-1. We'll start off the 5th right here in this position right now. Snitker up. And a strike called. Pinson's thrown the ball very well today. She's got 5 strikeouts. Snitker grounded out 5-6-2 her first time up. And again, right now the difference in the ball game has just been Rutland's execution of aggressive base running, and Otter Valley's, to be blunt, they didn't handle it very well. That's down to Trombley. She'll let it go off the glove, and that'll be an error, and you can see Harrington back to play up, but the runner will be safe at first base. So Snitker at first with nobody down. And the top of the order, Samirsky coming up. Samirsky's unofficially 0 for 2, grounded out to the pitcher and flied out to the shortstop Trombley. And so Pinson, oh, that ball popped up, and Sanderson just a step short of being able to get there. Yeah, again, so Pinson's really, to me, hasn't given up a solid base hit. There's been some misplayed balls behind her, but could easily be a 1-1 game right now. As Samirsky set, the pitch on the way, and that ball behind, the throw down to first, and Snitker back ahead of the throw by a good 2 steps. Again, you can see the trees in the background behind home base kind of fluffing around as the wind kicks up occasionally. And that's going to be a foul ball way past those trees. So Pinson in position to get strikeout number 6 here. Markowski on deck. And the pitch. Harrington on the line drive with that good start. Saw the ball, tracked the ball, and made actually made an easy play out what could have been a difficult play. So again, Harrington just an outstanding center fielder. We'll get the first out. Markowski up. She has struck out and singled, and she has scored a run today. So Markowski is going to start off from the left side. Usually means going to have a, not necessarily, but it could be a bunt attempt coming up. There's a strike call. She took that pitch. See her start going up the line a little bit, like she's going to slap the ball on a bunt down the third baseline. This is where the pressure's on Pinkham now, the third baseman for Otter Valley. Got to make play at the hot corner. And so Pinson trying to work out a little bit of a pickle here in this inning. That throw down, and Snitker will be back safe. You see Lefebvre with the tag in front of the bag, trying to shorten the throw. So everybody back in a position now. And that was definitely trying to slap the ball down. And throw back to Lefebvre, and again back safe is Snitker. So a couple strikes now on Markowski. Loris on deck. And I was looking over in the crowd in between innings, and that's going to be foul. And she will become a strikeout victim, as she was trying to bunt with 2 strikes, went foul. So 2 down now, and Loris up. About saying I saw Pete Loris, owner of Initial Ideas, over there in the stands watching. Of course, Pete Loris, very successful businessman. It's a foul ball. But he's a 78 graduate of Rutland High School. And that ball, again, that was sharply pulled foul. It's Emily Loris, unofficially, with a couple strikeouts today at the plate. 0 for 2. And that is going to be Bassett, and she'll make the grab, and they'll strand the runner. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th with a good one. 3-1. The Otters trailing by 2 on Munger Vision. Back out here in the bottom of the 5th, and Chelsea Bruce, the DP, up there, and she'll take a high strike. That'd be down to the count 0-1. Chris Conco with 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Has had good control, good placement of the ball all day. That's going to be a little dinker back to Chris Conco. She's got plenty of time, and the throw, and they'll have her out on that 1-3 ground out. Right now the wind at one of those strong points where it's gusting around. Yeah, Chris Conco's done a good job. Is Delphia up now? Actually, Delphia. Chris Conco's done a good job of not letting that leadoff batter get on base today. That changes the whole inning. When you get that leadoff batter on, the catcher kind of hesitating there. I think she thought she had a strike. Yeah, in my book, the only time the leadoff batter got on was Lefebvre in the 2nd, and she came around to score. And that is That's going to be a foul ball, and that shook things up over there on the Otter Valley bench. But no, it just gives, if you get the leadoff batter on, I mean, just strategically everything's in your advantage. You're dictating that inning. Gives you a lot more options to work with. So base is clean right now, and Delphia, good eye right there, laying off that pitch that tailed away on the outside corner. Still have a lot of softball action for you coming up from Mill River, and some more at Otter Valley. And West Rutland, I believe, still on some home games, so I'll be over there for. And I do have some Proctor Rangers youth baseball action on my calendar now, as Bob Protovansky got me the schedule, and I was able to fill in some blank dates that I had, open dates that I had. Oh, great pitch. No doubt about it, that was a strike. On deck will be Poljasic after Delphia for the Otters. And a swinging strike, and I think that was a pinch hitter. Now that I'm looking, yeah, that was Munger. So Munger will go down for the 6th strikeout. She was hitting for Delphia, and now Poljasic up. Poljasic was the last base runner that the Otters had. That was on a walk. Top of the order on deck. We're in the 5th. Mother Nature cooperates, and the camera doesn't break down. We'll be going at least 7. And you can see that one fall off for a strike. Poljasic, good contact hitter. can spray the ball around. There's a big gust of wind kicking up now, and the catcher and pitcher stepping out, waiting for it to die down a little bit. And I had to put my foot on my chair. I have a fold-out portable chair that I bring around. I set my scorebook on it. I think it was here the last game. Yeah, the wind caught it and blew it about 30 feet from me. Oh, great pitch. It's all about location, man. It's a good deal to have velocity like Chris Conco does, but to be able to spot the ball like she does, that's the money thing. That's good stuff. So nobody on, and 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Got her on the rise ball. See, she worked her down low and then brought it up high, and that's going to be the 7th strikeout for Chris Conco. And for Rutland in the 6th, it'll be number 4 batter, Taylor Chris Conco, against Pinson, who's got 6 strikeouts, and that's a shot. And that's just foul. I'll tell you what. That was about 18 inches, possibly 18 and a half inches from being fair. But that was a good shot. Yeah, it's going to be Chris Conco, Tipker, and Kulig due up for Coach Wright's Raiders here in the 6th. And again, I'll just reiterate the website you can go to watch local sports, Munger Vision, anytime, anywhere, free service, is www.pegtv.com. Click video on demand and then pick out whatever program it is you want to watch. That's a base hit. Oh, will they get the 9-3 put out? No, they will not. They'll toss the ball around, and yeah, the Otter Valley squad, that's, yeah, that is, and she'll be safe at second, obviously. There's Chris Conco. That's really what's hurt the Otter Valley squad, has just been the runs. To me, I'm unofficial, have been unearned, but they've been manufactured by aggressive running and then indecisions or misplays as far as how to attack that running game, and then a couple throwing the ball around like that. Now Tipker up, she has walked, she has struck out, and she has scored a run. As O'Hara back in there as the courtesy runner for Chris Conco, the pitcher for Rutland. And so after a long delay, Tipker will step in there and get set now. Crucial inning though for Otter Valley. Already down 2 runs. We're in the 6th. They really can't give up a bunch more here. Oh, they could, I mean, but it wouldn't be to their benefit. That bunt attempt went foul. When that pitch was up around the eyeballs, and she still tried to bunt it, and it was foul. It's like I said, Pinson's thrown the ball very well today. She's got 6 strikeouts. As they wait, as there's a little chat between Coach Wright and Tipker, and now all done with their strategy meeting. And again, you can see that O'Hara with that. Well, actually, she was halfway down to third base when she came back, and I got that infield thinking, got them scrambling around, got people out of position. Maybe they'll hedge it a little bit now defensively ahead of time, open up a hole in the field. That's what that running game does for you. And another close pitch called the ball. And so, again, in what could be the pivotal inning of the ball game right here. Otter Valley going to start off at the bottom of the 6th with the top of the order up. And that time, the ball was fouled. So again, everybody will go back. And Chris Conco, again, she had a courtesy runner come in Molly O'Hara. And that's who's out there at second base, wearing number 2. And then they took the bunt off, and that'll be the 7th strikeout of the ball game. Came at a great time for Otter Valley, and tell you what, Pinson has been able to hit her spots, her location. That was a great pitch right there. Kulig up now. She has scored, and her last time up, she lined out to the second baseman, Delphia. And so Kulig getting set, and I'll have to adjust to the center fielder here in a sec. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see where Harrington will line up next. Yeah, she stayed right there. That'd be cool. Sometimes she fades to the right. No, she's going to stay right there. I'll be able to see through. that pitch of ball. And again, Sanderson doing a nice job behind the plate of keeping the ball in front of her, keeping the ball in play, and really got to keep a watch on those base runners. Foul ball down that first baseline. That'll be strike 2 now. Yeah, and again on deck will be Grabowski. On a fairly pleasant day. I mean, there's been some real stinker days this spring to cover softball. Oh, and that's going to be coming in. Pajasic can't get to it. She'll knock it down. The run will score, and the runner will be safe at first. No, the run did not score. I was a little early on that call. O'Hara. Yeah, see, O'Hara stayed there, and then the base runner again came around and took the extra base because the infielders were indecisive and not really sure what to do. I was just surprised that they didn't score on that, actually. So Grabowski up, and with one down, the makings of a big inning here. Runners at second and third. Pinson's shown the ability to get the out herself via the strikeout, and that's what she needs right now. Tough catch for Lefebvre, trying to get it going back on the ball over the shoulder, and it's just a tad bit out of her reach. Good effort by Michelle Lefebvre, but it'll be just a foul ball strike. So actually a lot happened, but nothing really happened on that play. So Grabowski stepping back in there. There's the bunt, and they're going to go to first. There's the out, and the run will score. That's beautiful softball. That's softball. I don't see enough of that when I cover a lot of softball at other schools. That's just great softball. 2 down now, and a runner at third, and Goodwin up. Boy, and again, now see, that run actually happened on that play. Obviously, that play brought it in, but it was the plays before that. It was the errors and letting the runners advance up. Strike called as Goodwin bending back out of the way, but it caught the corner, and on deck is Snitker. So Goodwin trying to get that runner in from third. Swing and a miss. See, Coach Wright, and this is just, again, just speculation, conjecture on my part. I'm not putting words into his mouth or his thoughts out of his head. He understands that it would be great if everybody could hit a double, a triple, and a home run every time up, but you know, the odds of that aren't good. He understands that second and third, in this portion of your order, that bunt he just laid down was his best option. That'll be a strikeout. They'll throw down to third, and they'll get the out. That's the inning, but Rutland picking up one more. It stretches the lead to 4-1 over Otter Valley. Top of the order in the sixth, bottom of the sixth, Christy Pinkham up. See if she'll get the sign to bunt early in the count. No, she'll swing away, and that'll be fouled over into the first base bleacher section for a strike. Pinkham today has gone down on strikes both times, she fouled the ball off trying to bunt on with 2 strikes on her. That's why I didn't know if they're going to start her off with the bunt. She'll show bunt, brings the bat back like a slap, and will take ball high. Chris Conco to this point with 7 strikeouts in the game has not hurt herself at all with walks. She's done a very good job of being in control, being around the plate. The defense has made the plays behind her, and that'll be down to first, and they'll get that leadoff batter out for the start of the 6th inning on that line draw and that little ground ball down to Tipker. She will pick it up and get the put out. Now Harrington up. She's 0 for 2 today. She's lined out to the pitcher and grounded out to the pitcher, Chris Conco. Actually, I want to check myself because I think I misread my book. Let me slide my glasses on and try it with glasses on. She has lined out to first base and then grounded out to the pitcher. Okay, so that was different from what I thought I read the first time. I'm not going to slide over right now. There we go, because I knew the shortstop would squat down. 24 in your picture, that is Jesse Smirsky. And a good eye right there by Harrington. And that's going to be played to first, and that'll be out number 2 as that goes from Kulig to Tipker for a 4-3 ground out. Now Bassett up. She is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out, 1-4-3. And so Chris Conkle really into a rhythm right now, pitching-wise. And her team, like I said, her team behind her making the plays. And that pitch with like screwball action came down and inside the right-hander. Swung over the top, and that will be obviously strike one. I said Chris Conkle's done a good job of not letting that leadoff batter get on base and dictate the strategy. Up in the air, called for by Chris Conkle. That's a quick inning to work. We'll go to the top of the 7th, and Rutland leading 4-1. So Pinson with 8 strikeouts in the ball game has had a strikeout in every inning but the second. And we're going to have Sam Snitker leading things off, and I'll move in just a second as Harrington in the foreground. And that's going to be a shot, and that is going to be to the gap. You can see it roll to the fence. And it's going to be at least a double, and that's what we'll have. Snitker will stop at second base as she'll lead off with a no doubt about it double into the left center field gap. And now top of the order, Samirsky up. And that was a rise ball that came up inside and kind of hung there. And Snitker able to snap through on it. We're going to get a courtesy runner coming in for Snitker. We've already seen Massey and O'Hara come in, and this is going to be, I need a jersey number, 17. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Kikuchi, Kikuchi? And I apologize if that's not correct. All right, so again, Otter already down by 3. Haven't scored, their only run came in the second. And you can see as well as I can, they can't really afford to give up the runs here. As I'll keep moving here, Mr. Bedard has to get his gear on. Oh, look at Harrington, that little girl. Slide right over with me. That's not cool. Well, she's going to make the play, though, right in front of me. No, shortstop did. Trombley, as I totally lost the ball. Well, I've been moving so much, I lost the ball. So Trombley will make the grab for the first out. Now Markowski up. For Rutland with a runner at second. Remember that leadoff double. And they were thinking bunting right there. And getting everybody moving around. On that bunt, I was just adjusting my camera tripod to being level. Oh, I told you, Harrington's the most active center fielder I have played behind, videotape behind. I'm not playing the game. This season, many seasons actually, as she keeps me moving left and right. She keeps me on my toes, that's for sure. Pinson with 8 strikeouts and a strike called there. So Rutland trying to add to that 4-1 lead here in the 7th. Markowski, the center fielder, at the plate, and Kaylee Pinson came in high with that pitch. Again, Pinkham down at third, Trombley's at short, Delphia's at second. Now they put Munger in at second. So Munger's defensively been at second. I don't know how many innings, but I just noticed it now. So, and boy, high strike called there. And again, catching a look down. Markowski is to Coach Wright at third, getting a lot of signs flashed to her. Kuchi's at second base, and that is they see Munger covered the bag, and that was a strikeout recorded, and then the third strike thrown down. I'm not sure if I saw that correctly, but that unofficially is the 9th strikeout of the ball game for Pinson. Now Emily Loris up, the catcher for Rutland High School. Oh, and I picked the wrong spot again, so I'll move just a second. And Pinson, again, if this game plays out to where it is, would have pitched very well in defeat, and that's going to be Bassett coming in and making the grab right off the top of the grass. Bassett will save a run, and the Otters need 3 to tie for the win going into the bottom of the 7th. Taylor Kriskonko has retired the last 9 Otters she has faced. And she's going to be looking at the middle of the order with Michelle Lefebvre, Erin Trombley, and Amanda Sanderson up. It's Lefebvre who had a single and eventually scored the only run of the game so far for Otter Valley. But in a 4-1 game, we're in the bottom of the 7th. Kriskonko with 7 strikeouts unofficially. And I'll move to the left as I got the shortstop. Smirsky in the shot. That pitch called. No time between pitches, so that's going to be a foul ball down that third base line. Again, the sun making an appearance here on the early morning ball game. We've had a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of sun, some wind, but overall, not a bad day at all. I can't think of a bad day to take in Channel 15 softball action on Munger Vision. Oh, good job by Lefebvre. She started to take a shot at that rise ball and laid off it. That is hard to do. Kriskonko, they want that outside corner. And she did go outside, but it traveled up and out of the strike zone on her. Like I said, Lefebvre, just a good athlete. Got a good eye here, good instinct for softball. She was on that championship team last year for Otter Valley. Yeah, that's a great pitch. She twitched a little bit like she wanted to swing, but that is just a great pitch, to be quite honest with you. So that all-important first out of the inning, getting that leadoff batter down. It's the 8th strikeout for Kriskonko, and now Trombley up. And Trombley 0 for 2 today. And the outfield shaded toward that first baseline, and that's fouled straight down off home plate for a strike. And again, you can catch more Otter Valley, Mill River, West Rutland softball action. Some Proctor Phantoms youth baseball coming up. In July, you have the Proctor All-Star Tournament that I plan on being there. Unless I get fired from Mr. Carter over there who runs that. Sanderson on deck and Trombley looking for a way to get on base here. Like I said, that was the 10th batter in a row retired by Kriskonko, and you could just see the power of that rise ball as it just rocketed past Trombley. So with 2 strikes, Trombley settles in, and Kriskonko into the windup, the windmill, and Joss got a piece of the fouled bag, so she'll stay alive. Now I just slide over a whisker more. There we go. Oh, I've had to dance around with the center fielders. Now the shortstop's going to give you a problem. Fouled off again, just enough to. The problem I'm going to have, I'm going to do all this sliding over to my left, and then the left-handed Sanderson will get up and they will put the shift on, and I'll have to slide the other way. I need a little portable platform to stand on. And it's going to be a throw to first for out number 2. So Otter Valley down to their final out here in the ball game. And Sanderson up. Her last time up, she popped up to the third baseman. And it must have been a very good ball game. I mean, both teams have played well. And did she go? Ooh, they say she did. So Kriskonko working on 8 strikeouts, looking for number 9 and get the win in the book for Rutland. And Sanderson. Good eye there. Tough pitch to lay off from because it did start off on the inside portion and then it finally caught the outside corner. A lot of movement on her pitches today from Kriskonko. Anyway, especially at this view, this vantage point, you can see the ball moving around on her. She's had just good control, a lot of velocity on the pitches. That, I'm not sure, certainly was a slower pitch. Was it her changeup? I don't know, but certainly something, a little speed taken off from that pitch. And again, Sanderson doing a good job of not committing to it. That's going to be spanked foul down the third baseline. And again, with 2 down, nobody on. The Otters down by 3. They're a pretty good crowd on hand. I know it was an early start for the youngsters, the 10 o'clock start time. Teenagers don't like, well, even past teenage years, they don't like getting up early. And for the ball game, Samersky to first, that's the ball game. So congratulations to Rutland. A good effort by Otter Valley. It was just a fun game all the way around. Thought the coaches did a good job and the umpires. And back to the drawing board for the Otters. The difference in the ball game actually was just the they couldn't execute on getting the base running, the aggressive base running to Rutland. So again, a lot of good strategy employed by both sides. Hope you've enjoyed this contest. Get out there and support your student athletes, and always turn on Munger Vision.